Hello everyone, welcome back to our video series for Map of the Month, map making workshops, and we're going to continue along with our North America map. Okay, so let's see what we've done so far. You can see in the last video we completed the northeast and southeast regions, and in the meantime I've added a little color along the coastline. I'm kind of working my way up that Atlantic coast. And in addition to that, I've also, I don't know if you can see that blue line, there are three major rivers that I've included. And you can see these would be the three listed down in the bottom here. We have the Mississippi. And you notice it starts in Minnesota, so you can kind of start right about there. Grab a blue pencil. Just take your blue. Just start right about there in Minnesota. And it looks like a little hook, fish hook almost. And then you can see it connects with that state line. And from there, it's a simple matter. Just follow the state line that divides all of these states in the Midwest: Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, a little bit of Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and then you're getting down into Alabama. Now at this point, it just makes a straight shot right down to the Mississippi Delta, which enters into the Gulf of Mexico. So there you have the mighty Mississippi, and that's our longest river in the United States. Okay, two other important rivers that we could add. There's thousands of rivers in the country, but these are three of the biggest ones. This is the Ohio River, and maybe I'll take a second and label that one. Ohio. I'm going to abbreviate river, R period. Okay, you can see it starts here and just goes right up, right along Ohio and West Virginia. And then it just makes a little hook right there. The source of the river must be in the Appalachians, these Appalachian mountains. And eventually that is a tributary to the Mississippi. You see it flows right into the Mississippi. We also have a river that probably starts in the Rockies, and you can see in Montana. Let's start it at the source of the river and work our way toward the Mississippi where it enters. Okay, so we're going to go right through Montana, right down through North Dakota. I can just darken it in a little. Okay, then you're going to go right through the state of South Dakota, right down to the corner, right down to that southeast corner of South Dakota where you meet the border of Nebraska and Iowa. So that, once again, that river forms the boundary. A little bit into Kansas too, and at that point it just shoots right across Missouri and enters into the Mississippi. So there's three major rivers for you. Also, I've added the two mountain ranges. Okay, I've left a few to add, but you can see I started down in that little portion of Texas right there. We can just put a few, I believe the Pecos Mountains right around there. They blend with the ones in Mexico as well. You know, we learned about the Sierra Madre Oriental. I believe this is the extension of that mountain range, and it goes right up into New Mexico. You can see I've added just a few of these little mountain symbols, and you can add I've made a straight line, but mountains don't just travel in a straight line. You can put a few to the side here and there. Pretty much follow that route right up into Idaho and Montana. And then these mountains, they don't stop at the border there, they just continue up into Canada, right past that boundary line. We'll talk more about those as they go into Canada. One last thing I'd like to do right now is, of course, it would be nice to add a little color to the mountains too. I like to do them in one at a time, and the nice thing about mountains, they can be very colorful. So if you want to use a combination of green, brown, maybe throw in some other colors too, red, orange, purple. Make your mountains colorful. I'll work on that a little bit more on my own. You can do the same. But let's take a quick look at the 5 large bodies of water right up here in the Midwest region of the country. They actually border along the northeast as well, but these are called the Great Lakes. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and label. You may have studied these lakes already, but it's important to label them on this map too. Okay, and we've got Lake Superior. Okay, you may have learned this little trick from another map that we've done, but I'm going to teach you that little trick about remembering the names of the Great Lakes. You might have already heard this, but homes, that's the word, homes. If you can remember that word, you can remember the names of the Great Lakes. H would be for Huron, Ontario. M for Michigan. E for Erie, E-R-I-E, and S for Superior. Okay, so just remember that little trick, and then you can label them on the front of your map. So there's Lake Superior. That's the largest one up at the highest elevation, I believe, for Superior. Okay, then we've got the little bit of a sideways here. You're going to have to kind of, you notice I have a mechanical pencil for these very small areas. Sometimes it helps to have that fine point. This is Lake Michigan. Okay. And we have Lake Huron. L period, I'm using the abbreviation for the lakes. H-U-R-O-N. Okay. Then we've got Lake Erie. Let's see if I can fit it right in the lake. L period E-R. Luckily this is a small word. Okay. I might write this one above the lake, just so I don't have to squeeze it too much. That's Lake Ontario. O-N-T-A-R-I-O. Put like a little line, leader line. Okay, so there's the 5 Great Lakes. And we've got the 3 rivers. We can check those off in the list. Mississippi, Missouri, and the Ohio. I didn't label the Missouri. Let's do that. M-I-S-S-O-U-R-I River R. I'll just put R period. Okay, and then you've got the Mississippi River. Let's label that real quick. M-I-S-S-I-P-P-I-R period. All right, there we go. Long river, long name. Okay, and we've got the 2 big mountain ranges. Maybe we can squeeze it in here. Let's put Rocky Mountains. I'm going to abbreviate mountains. And over here we could put, maybe we could write it off to the side like this. Appalachian. Make sure you spell it right. That's a tricky word. Appalachian. Mountains. Take your time. Remember, the faster you go, the more mistakes you're going to make. I've probably made a few already that I'll have to correct, but you can always go back and fix it if you're using a pencil. Okay, and I think we've done very well today. That's a lot of work in one video, but let's just go over real quick. Mountains, rivers, and Great Lakes. Okay, spend a few minutes coloring in the Great Lakes too, and the rest of your mountain symbols. All right, thanks a lot. That was great.